Okay, you know what? We'll go straight to our guest speaker, and actually it's Chris with a K. Chris Blake, and I don't know if you guys followers of the Thompson Citizen, April 23rd article titled "Blake Takes Over as People's First of Manitoba President." For those, I think a lot of people here know Blake. There's no doubt he's been an avid supporter and champion for the cause that he's going to be talking about today. In regards to People's First as an organization, I'll just read an extract from the article. Nationally and internationally, People's First advocates for the closing down of mental institutions which they say are often the site of abuse and neglect of people with intellectual disabilities, and for the inclusion of its members in communities in which they live. The organization itself has, I believe, only three chapters in Manitoba.
Yeah.
Four. There's Brandon, two in Winnipeg, and Thompson. I
Um,
think.
there's there's three now. There's two
Three.
in Winnipeg and one
One
here.
time, okay. Um, very active. Chris has been the president of the Thompson chapter since it started back in 2011,
Yeah.
and now he's taken over the presidentship of the province. Very proud of what you've done, and I just want everyone to give Chris a warm welcome as he talks about his organization.
Thank you for having me this afternoon, Oswald. People First is a self-advocate group for people living with intellectual disabilities. Our our vision of People First is of a movement of people who want all citizens to live equally in the community. Our goals is to promote equal for all people who have been labeled with an intellectual disability, speak for ourselves and make our own decisions, educate the community about our movement and our issues. Um, our mission, support people who have intellectual disabilities to speak for themselves and to help each other and help make sure that what people who have been labeled with a disability have their own say. People First started in 1974 out of British Columbia, uh, Vancouver, um, by two people that wanted out of the institution and got out and are able to live in regular society like everybody else. Whether a person has a physical challenge or an intellectual challenge, we all have the right to live in society today. I just recently came back from the People First of Canada conference this past weekend, and I'm proud to announce that I'm being president for Manitoba till 2016. This is my first term. This is my second term as president for Thompson since 2011, and I'll be doing it till 2015. Um, Briefly, I just want to encourage Thompsonites, business owners, to go on our Facebook page. We have a People First of Manitoba Facebook page. Like the page, and you can find out all the information you can. Also, go to www.peoplefirstofcanada.ca, and you can find out what's happening across the nation and around the world as well. Our farthest office around the world is in Tokyo, Japan. So we have offices in Japan, United Kingdom, Austria, as well as Italy and other locations around the world. Today I'll be speaking about Bill 26, the Accessibility Act for Manitobans, the new law that just came into effect in December of 2013. Um, Nearly 1 in 6 Manitobans has a disability. This is a number that is expected to increase due to in part to an aging population, said Jennifer Howard, Finance Minister and Minister responsible for persons with disabilities. This legislation will lay law out of framework to guide the development and embellishment of accessibility standards, improve the independence and social inclusion of Manitobans living with a disability. The main goal of the Accessibility Act is to prevent barriers by working with public and private sectors in long-term plans. How that legislation has become law we will need to create a greater public awareness of benefits for full accessibility by working with stockholders and the general public to change attitudes, politics, and practices, says Jim Dirksen, Chair, Manitoba Accessibility Advisory Council. Some of the projects that we've completed here in Thompson that we had a say in is when McDonald's got renovated back in 2012, I believe. The McDonald's owner contacted me, and we had a say in getting automatic doors put into the McDonald's restaurant in all areas, including washrooms. Another project that we've completed that we had a say in is we had a say in when Thompson Regional Community Center got renovated. TRCC contacted me, and we got an elevator put into the arena to get access to the upper level of the track. So it's great to see. It's a slow process. I'm here today to introduce myself, introduce people first, and I'd be honored and to help encourage your business to get accessibility wherever it may need it. So please contact me. Our office is located in the Juniper Center on 108 Nelson Road. You can contact me at 204-677-2970. And you can also email me at k.blake.mb@live.com. And that's about it.
Thank you, Chris. And I'm just go to the audience here. Is just for questions. Anyone have any questions of Chris or the organization?
Could I have that phone number again, please?
Sure.
204-677-2970. Yeah.
First, I'll go with Joy, then Dave, and then Booker.
First of all, congratulations, Chris. It's fabulous that Thompson advocate like yourself is representing Manitoba, and I know that you'll do a fabulous job for people living with disabilities in our community. I wanted to just ask and comment on Bill 26. I know when the Ontario Provincial Disability Act was passed a couple of years ago, it actually came with some significant resources to encourage and subsidize businesses and social services to do necessary renovations and adjustments for mobility access. I wondered if the Manitoba Disability Act makes any reference to making it easier for businesses to create accessibility. And I just want to say our commitment at the YWCA is to have an accessible building. And we have an elevator that hasn't operated for, there's people around the table who probably correct me, but I would say probably 8 or 10 years. And there's an enormous challenge for us to actually get, even when we have the capacity and the infrastructure there to get repairs. And so to invest in repairing an elevator at this stage might well mean that 20 years down the line we had no building and owning an elevator. But I just wanted to express our commitment to do it. But you know, as businesses and social service organizations, we really need the partnership with an advocacy group such as yours to help us get the subsidy and the resources we need.
Did you want to comment on that, or?
I'm going to be looking into within the next week or two. I'll be contacting the People First of Canada office to find out more about the subsidy for businesses for the Accessibility Act. But I will for surely get back to you within the next couple of weeks.
Before I go to Dave, in regards to accessibility, I know that there's some that are high cost, but is there other small things that businesses can do to help with accessibility of individuals? Is in regards to policies or
Thompson, what is that? I'm not sure what that's called at the moment, but there is organization here in Thompson that grants for nonprofit organizations. So I'm gonna be looking at that route as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dave?
You might be thinking of Thompson Community Foundation.
Yeah,
So
Community
you want to see
Foundation.
something.
Yes.
What would you say your major stumbling block is in Thompson?
The major stumbling block in Thompson is sidewalk issues. The sidewalk issues here are horrible. I know the mayor and city council have been working with us, and it's been a slow process, but we are getting there. Some of the projects that we've done in terms of the sidewalk issues is we've worked in the Eastwood area as well as part of Westwood so far. So it's we've done a lot of work since we opened. So
Dave? Yeah.
The bike trails, does that help?
no, the bike trails do not help them, and the Millennium Trail is just horrible for wheelchairs. So yeah. So.
Volker?
Chris, first of all, let me say congratulations to you because I've watched you over the years. You're doing a tremendous amount of work. To be president now of his Manitoba organization is a real asset. So thank you for doing all that.
Yeah.
I just have two quick questions for you, and Ozzy touched on it. Has your local group sort of come up with a series of recommendations of what you would like to see done in the city of Thompson? I know you mentioned you've been working with the city, but maybe there's other areas, whether it's business or community infrastructure that you feel should be.
Some stores that I've been through and I've noticed other people been through that use wheelchairs. Some stores are not fully. They may think they're wheelchair accessibility, wheelchair accessible. It may be fine to get into the store, but I'm talking about aisles too as well, because so for instance, you go into some stores, some of the aisles are really tiny, and you can't really fit a wheelchair through the store, and that kind of sucks for people with disabilities, if you ask me. So.
In terms of you said you have an office in Thompson.
Yes.
In terms of your administration costs, do you have to raise money, or how do you raise money?
We're a non-profit organization. Excuse me. So we have 2 fundraisers a year. We have a fundraising social that comes up in August. It's called Smile for the Strong and Free. It's strong. The Strong and Free stands for strong-willed people and freedom from the institutions. So that's our major fundraiser for the year. We do have a Christmas 50-50 draw, where we do 50-50, and and the winner gets half the proceeds towards our chapter, and then all the funds go to the local chapter. On the provincial aspect, I don't really know. I'm brand new to the provincial board, so I'll get the ball rolling within the next 2 to 3 weeks and find out what's happening on the provincial aspect.
Is People First a charitable organization, and do you have charitable status?
Yes, we do have a charitable status number. Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Well, Chris, I do want to thank you. We will make sure that we invite you back again in a year's time, for sure, just to see how progress has been made. I
Okay.
think if there's anything that, as a collective, that the chamber can assist in, by all means, you can contact our office. I do want to thank again for coming down. Everyone can give Chris a clap.